So yesterday when I talked to you, I said we were going to do that brainwave test, the EEG, and we did that. That's where you hook wires on the head to measure the electricity in the brain.
Yes.
The problem was there was so much artifact in there from him making movements and from the machines and stuff that I couldn't really get a good reading on it. Part of that was because we were cooling him, and when you cool people they have shivering type movements and that interferes with the electrodes and stuff. I didn't see any evidence of any seizure activity, so that's one of the things I wanted to tell, and I didn't see any evidence of it. But I couldn't really get a good reading on the EEG otherwise because there was just so much irregular movement and stuff in there. So it gave us some information, but not as much as what I had hoped. Then today on the examination, what I see is kind of a mixture. Some things a little worse, some things a little bit better. But let me try to explain that for you. Yesterday he was having a lot of movements where he would kind of do this whenever you stimulated him. Those are abnormal movements that we don't typically see. I don't see as many of those movements today. Now, that could be better or worse, either one. When people start to improve, they don't have those movements, but also when people worsen, they quit having those movements as much. His pupils, the way they react to today, they react a little bit better, which is good to have the pupils reacting, but there's not a lot of change. Another reflex, when I stroke the eye, that's not there now, and that's not a good sign. It's a reflex when I stroke the eye, called the corneal reflex. We always want to see that, and it is not there. And so that's a bad sign that that has gone away. So there's a little bit of worsening stuff, a little bit of staying the same type stuff. Overall, though, I don't see any significant change in his neurologic examination. He's still completely unresponsive. He doesn't have movements in the extremities to the same degree like we talked about yesterday. With turning in like this and other just random movements on the examination. I think that's probably because of two things. One, some worsening, and two, the cooling that we're doing, because he won't have as many movements because we're giving him medicine and stuff. He had 2 episodes today, this morning, where he had cardiac arrest again. So that's made things even more of a problem on top of what was already there. There's no way to make any definitive comments from a neurologic standpoint about what the brain function is, other than what I've just explained to you, because everything else has to get better first before the brain can get better. And everything else isn't getting better. In fact, he's had 2 more events today. The second reason is, whenever we're cooling people like this, the idea is to cool them